Toyota. Drive in and experience the incredibly cool Hunter Quick Check Drive inspection service, which will tell you the status of your tire treads. Whether it's routine maintenance or a special project, the service team at Rudy Luther Toyota will take care of your vehicle. Check their website for their current service specials. Great service, great value, and you're on that road trip. Schedule your service today at Rudy Luther Toyota, 5 miles west of Minneapolis on 394.
Is your remote workforce putting your company at risk? Cyber criminals are targeting your employees with COVID-19 inspired emails and attacking businesses like yours. Hi, Mark Feld from Rymark. Rymark has the tools and expertise to enable your employees to work securely from home. If you need help getting your staff to work remotely and securely, call 651-328-8900 or go to rymarkit.com. That's 651-328-8900 or rymarkit.com.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Attention transit customers. On Saturday, June 15th, Metro Transit will make changes to transit service within your community. As we do each quarter, we review our resources and ridership trends. These service changes continue our ongoing work to best serve customers throughout our system with our given resources. A summary of the upcoming service changes and a preview of the updated schedules are available now at metrotransit.org. Again, that's at metrotransit.org.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon, Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low of 63. On Friday, more rain and storms with a high of 78. Grab a tray at Cafe Latte and pick from their award-winning selections of soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. Cafe Latte is at Victoria Street and Grand Avenue in St. Paul or at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies are trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. We discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Deka, and this portion of the show is supported by Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. A big thank you, Pinagigi, to all of our supporters who kindly help us out. It really means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we're here at the beautiful studio here in St. Paul.
St. Paul, what's up?
Word. Hey, and we had a great day here at the market, and it was great to see all the people stop by and say hello. And Haley did a great job.
Yeah, thank you to the Four Sisters Farmers Market and NACD for having us out there vending. It's always a great time. If you can head out there to Minneapolis on Thursday, that's when it's happening.
Hey, we have, just for a quick segment, our hero from Minnesota State Representative Heather Keeler, and we always love having you on. And Heather, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, it's always good to be here.
Hey, what a great mic you got there, and wish you a happy haircut there too.
Oh, you look great.
Oh, thanks. I got it cut like 2 weeks ago, so I'm trying to get used to it. Mm.
Do you feel lighter? Are you walking a little lighter now?
It's got a little bounce to it. There's like,
Yeah,
There you go.
like
wash and go.
it's very different to have short hair. That's for sure.
Well, you can wash and go now. You don't have to, you could go to all those meetings. But hey, let's take a
I
quick.
sort of feel like, hold on. No, you don't. I feel like shorter hair. I'm going to pause us for a second and have a girl moment
It'd be
because that
harder.
statement is actually not as true. I sort of feel like shorter hair is harder because you do have to like do something with it. When I had longer hair, like I could throw it in a braid. I could do a lot of things with it quickly. And short hair is it's a whole new world. That's for sure. So sorry, Robert, had to correct the statement. And the fact that
No
short
problem.
hair is real hard.
No problem. My hair is thinning out, so we should change the subject,
Okay.
I guess. Exactly. Hey, I know we only got time for a quick segment here, but I know a state representative that before you were a state representative, your big jam was school. And I
Mhm.
know we have this great thing happening here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis with Red Lake. I'm wondering if you want to talk about what's happening around Turtle Island and here in Minnesota with our college system here and what's going on native wise.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting. Like, I'm glad you bring this up because I think me and Haley were talking about this a couple days ago. Like, I'm so much more than just a state representative, right? Like, I'm Heather. Like, I did a lot of work in the world before ever coming into this elected position. And most recently, before being elected, I worked in higher education. Before that, I worked in Indian education, making sure that people understood the opportunities through higher ed. And it's really interesting because right now I'm experiencing that because my son is going off to college. And so like everything I've worked in the communities with, even doing myself, it's interesting now as a perspective as a parent. And so it's all coming full circle. I worked in higher ed. I'm a mom who's sending my kid to higher ed, but also as a legislator, we were able to add $1 million every year for our tribal colleges, which is really big in their budget systems to do operational costs, whether that's hiring new staff, they're able to get some financial staff on board to walk through people because we know higher ed can either cost us a lot of money or we don't have enough money to go. But it's been amazing to see in a world that typically higher education enrollment is going down. Like if you look at our big universities, we see that. In our tribal colleges, we're expanding, we're growing. Red Lake Nation actually has a college outside of their borders now. It's the first in the nation. It's actually right in downtown Minneapolis, overlooking the Viking Stadium, which is really cool. And so, they took kind of a piece of land that nobody wanted and turned it into something really beautiful and empowering for the next generations. And so all Native individuals in the metro can go there. Non-Natives can go there. It's really rooted in cultural education and providing individuals with a stellar education. And then I went to White Earth College because they're actually doing an expansion there to add a fitness center with some showers and understanding that, to go to college to be successful, having a place to exercise your body and your mind is good. And then having showers, we understand that some people don't have access to that. And so making sure that they can show up in spaces ready to learn. And so I'm just really proud of what we're doing in Minnesota when it comes to our tribal colleges, and also proud of all the parents out there who are sending their kids into college. That's, for some of us, that's really new, and we're breaking massive barriers to get our kids into these spaces. And I think it's wonderful.
Just my perspective from my other job, state representative, that I just applaud the way the Red Lake Nation as a government works. And I just want to give a big shout out to Sam Strong. Really, something for nations across the country to look at how well they're working together to get things done.
Yeah. And I would add, President Dan King is a
Mhm.
fantastic visionary. And I think, in Indian country, we just need more of that. We need people coming in and really looking at, I mean, honestly, if you saw that site, and Robert, that site before they even thought to buy it. I mean, it was in shambles, right? And I think the mayor even said, like, good luck, turning this into something. They took 2 different buildings and turned it into something fantastic. But, the president, Dan King, was able to have this vision and just really fought for it really diligently until we got the momentum to do it. And I think now we've set the example for other communities to do this as well, because we all know for a long time now, it's 60% or more of our communities live in urban Indian communities. They don't live on reservations. And so providing education is so good.
Yeah, and to give you guys credit too, in the House and the Senate and the Lieutenant Governor, and we would, I was talking to somebody about this today in Minneapolis, and we wouldn't have any of this stuff if we didn't have representation. So with education and higher education and our community, we need more Heather Keelers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we've been doing a lot too in our K-12 system, right? Like adding Indigenous education for all. That's really important because, in the world before being an elected official, I was in the world educating grown adults in professional settings about who we are. And it was real evident that people just don't know about our history. They don't know about boarding schools. They don't know how recent boarding schools were and how that impacts us. And so having these conversations with my colleagues have really made a difference in how we make decisions. And if nothing else, we're even pausing as we're making decisions on real random things. And they're saying, wait, what do our tribes think about this? Or how does this impact, different communities? And so we're really lucky that in Minnesota, we've had fantastic representation in all chambers of government to really be a voice of education and power. But we need more, and here's my plug always and forever. We need representation at school board levels. We need them at county commission, at water boards, at city council, your mayors. We need them everywhere. Get involved in commissions, human rights commissions, Indigenous commissions, parent committees. Like, we really have to show up. And I know we're all busy, but I tell everybody, like, you have to be blessed with a busy that actually gives back to the next generations. And so if you're so busy, you can't give to the next generations, maybe you need to reevaluate your busy and restructure a little bit, because our kids need us. Our kids need us to show up and be voices.
Well, what a great way to end this, and it's so blessed to have you on, Heather. I always get chills when you talk. You're a great speaker. We got less than a minute here. I want people to realize that, Heather, that you're out there too, and with your Two Feathers organization, that you do public speaking. So I want you to give a plug real quick before we let you go.
Yep. twofeathersllc.com. That's how you find me. I do educational, keynote, motivational speaking, focused on Indigenous populations, particularly in areas of education, healthcare, and community engagement.
Thank you so much, Big Peeny Gigi, for stopping in with your busy schedule, and always your great medicine and great words, Peeny Gigi. All right, we'll see you, Heather.
Bye.
We don't say goodbye. Oh,
when we heal from our traumas,
when we face our fears,
let go of our addictions,
when we relearn our values,
when we live our teachings,
respecting our elders,
cherishing and honoring our children,
when we honor and take care of our spirit,
there will be no room left for sexual violence.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hi, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. If you need new windows for your home or business, I highly recommend 952 Windows. They offer windows and doors with the longest warranties and Energy Star's #1 most efficient ratings. I can personally vouch for them, having known the owner for decades. They did a fantastic job on our second floor addition 20 years ago, installing windows, roofing, siding, and even adding a master bedroom and bathroom. In my opinion, they're one of the most best-kept secrets in remodeling. As Onyx Bath and Rosebud cabinet dealers, 952 Windows guarantees top quality products. Until now, 952 Windows thrived on referrals and the loyalty of satisfied Window-Light customers. They continue to support these customers by providing warranty parts for the 80,000 windows sold since 1994. For unbeatable deals and trusted service on windows, doors, roofing, siding, kitchens, bathrooms, and more, call 952 Windows or visit 952windows.com. Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl. Howl! J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Anine, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, we got our friend Darek on, and Darek, please introduce yourself in a good way.
Oh, Jawunung Benesi Indigo, Mushkazibing Nindun Jabai Dash, Gakabi Kong and Danungom, Mayangun Indo Dam. I said Southern Spirit Bird is what the spirits know me as. My people are from Bad River. I'm an enrolled member of the Bad River tribe of Ojibwe. I'm part of the Wolf Clan, and I live in Minneapolis today.
Right on. Hey, and welcome to Native Roots Radio. It was fun. We had lunch today, and a big Pinigigi. Thank you for that little sandwich that you bought me. That was really good. And we had a great discussion that we were talking about. We wish we had it recorded because we were getting down and dirty, and you know, you spoke in front of a group that I'm familiar with too, and it's exciting that we have a lot of progressive natives out there.
It was really good to have lunch with you. I felt I'm usually pretty good at public speaking, but I felt under the pressure after, Heather. Boy, that was pretty good. I'm looking up her LLC right now, and hopefully we'll be able to work in the future. That was a pretty good segment. Very strong public speaking, so I'll do my best.
Yeah, she's awesome, and believe you me, we really enjoy sneaking her in whenever she can on Native Roots Radio.
Yeah, that's right. Heather's always, got amazing things to say.
Well, you're the civic engagement manager of Native American Community Development Institute, and also the head honcho of Make Voting a Tradition. And it's that time of year where I feel like we really need to engage our people and not listen to the mass media, because the mass media lives on clicks and views, so they want to make sure everything's close, and so everyone's engaged. But we need to just talk about our Gen Zs, our people that voted last time, and engage them, and the new voters.
I agree with you on every account there, Robert. I think what we spoke about a little bit earlier was what we'd like to do is engage our past. When we talk about that, we want to talk about our older relatives, our elders, and really talk to them, because they come from a different generation. They come from that different experience, and we can gain so much from that. And when we bring that into the present, we can be more educated. We can be more filled with hope, because we have made so many strides today. We are the people that need to do this work, and we know that, and it's very important. It's at the top of our thinking. So we're doing our best, but to be able to take that information, work very hard today, and hopefully we can push this into the future. That way we can affect the kids. And I really loved how Heather ended her talk when she was mentioning the future, mentioning those kids. I really believe in my heart that that's what it's all about. I mean, we spoke about that also earlier, Robert. It's just the importance of the work is right now. We have to do this right now.
Right, and we talked about I know you thought I was in my 40s, but I'm, 63, and we talked about how are we leaving, our legacy to our next generation and, of course, the next 7 generations, and when we get at a certain age, we really need to give it away to keep it, and giving it away and leaving a legacy, and we talked a lot about that during lunch too.
Yeah, that was a good talk. I myself have moved into the 50s now, so I'm official. I'm in there. 50 years old now, and I fully agree with what you just said. Your thinking kind of starts to change.
Mhm,
I've been a theme in life right now has been we're in the middle of history, whether we like it or not. The words are being written in this book, and what do you want those words to say? I want to be able to hang my hat on some good work,
mhm,
something that was working for the people, working for the future, and also always remembering where we're from.
mhm.
So important to keep those three aspects. That's why I touched on them the last little bit that I was talking about, and to right here, the past, the present, and the future is so important, so we can move forward in that good way.
Yeah. And, we also talked about, and you talked earlier about, the young ones, getting them engaged and how do we get them engaged? And, once they're engaged, you become a voter for life if when you start voting, especially as a young one. And, that's exciting because I was jokingly telling you it's that Gen Zs are now number 1 on our list when it comes to the voting block, my generation's, moving on, so the boomers are moving on and the Gen Zs are doing a good job, and, they don't count them, they don't have landlines, they don't count them in polls, but we have to count them as community members and also voters and reach out to them, which your organization's been doing great for as long as I know.
And it's a focus of ours. I think that's a fine point you bring up, and when you speak on that subject, I really just want to be able to work so hard today so we can do something that is good for all of us. And I think that's what we're all talking about, is just doing good work, working from our heart, showing who we are, because we are people of the heart. That's what I've been told, and I take that serious. So if you lead with your heart, I think
Mhm,
the good work will find you, hopefully. I mean, in my
mhm,
case, it has. and
mhm,
and when you touch on that how do we get Gen Z involved, I always allude to myself. I always look to people like you, Robert, and you, Haley. We have to get up every day and shower up and get on our clothes and stand up tall and smile and be positive. And we have to, this is vital. We have to be excited about this work, whether we're in a bad mood or not. We have to come out and we have to be smiling and say, yes, this is working. We live in Minnesota. We have so many great things that have went through for us so
mhm,
far. We have the evidence that this is working. If we can
mhm,
stay involved, if we can be in those high chairs and those seats at those tables, we can
mhm,
make a difference. And I think our our youth are starting to see that, and I have noticed it in the immediate area. When you talk about the cultural corridor in Little
mhm,
Earth, um, luckily, our contracted workers, our canvassers, a lot of them have kids, and they're
mhm.
out there working. They're excited about it. They know what to do. They know the questions to ask. They know how to be involved. They're excited about working. That is pretty rare with this generation.
What do you think about that, Haley?
Well, so I'm Gen Z, but a lot of people I think have this, like, I don't know if it's like it's not entirely the wrong idea, but Gen Z, I think people think, those are the kids that are in junior high now or still in high school. And I was born in 1998. So really, I'm kind of the top oldest generation or older people of Gen Z. And, I think a lot of the, people who don't want to work or contribute to a society is because I think we kind of grew up and we were told to follow these certain rules and do this and that to be successful. And then we kind of get here and the rules change. And we are like, there's unfairness, not in this country, but all over the world. And because of social media and because we grew up with that, we're able to see that so clearly and see through the lies of the media and, just want to do better for the world and for future generations, even, younger than us.
The awareness, you touched on the awareness. I think one thing, this is my personal opinion, through social media, now that we're really in the depths of social media now, it's not a new thing. It's been around and we're used to it. The awareness of everybody about everything this world is doing. It's hard to hide anything these days. So we can use that as a tool. And I think that Gen Z, there's one thing that I notice about Gen Z is they are using that as a tool. You guys are aware there's nothing gonna slide by you.
Right on. Darek, we're going to take a quick break on a commercial and we'll be right back. Does that sound good? We're going to have a nice discussion with Darek.
Yeah, absolutely. All
right. Hey, we're with Darek Delille, and we'll be right back after this short break. This is Native Roots Radio.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Dive into a world where tradition meets innovation, satire meets symbolism, and Native American art takes center stage. All My Relations Arts and the Native American Community Development Institute proudly unveil Alter Native by Frank Buffalo Hyde. Alter Native is an electrifying exhibition that uses satire to push boundaries and demand a closer look at the vibrant complexities of Native identity in today's world. So embrace the unexpected and challenge norms with Alter Native by Frank Buffalo Hyde, showing now at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis.
Attention transit customers. On Saturday, June 15th, Metro Transit will make changes to transit service within your community. As we do each quarter, we review our resources and ridership trends. These service changes continue our ongoing work to best serve customers throughout our system with our given resources. A summary of the upcoming service changes and a preview of the updated schedules are available now at metrotransit.org. Again, that's at metrotransit.org. Do you have a personal financial goal like buying a car, starting a business, saving for college, or investing for retirement? Whatever your goal is, you need a plan. It might seem overwhelming, but like physical fitness, you can gradually improve your financial health step by step. Start by creating a spending plan, improving your credit score, opening a bank account, or finding a trusted advisor. Not sure where to start? Visit mn.gov/commerce/money for more.
As we emerge from the shadows of the pandemic, let us celebrate our resilience and embrace the path to a brighter future. While the COVID-19 emergency declaration may be over, our commitment to safety remains stronger than ever. We invite you to stand tall and protect what matters most, our health and the well-being of our loved ones and elders. The power to keep our community safe lies within each one of us. It's important to remember the basics when you're with someone who might be at risk of COVID complications. Wear your mask, wash your hands often, and take an at-home COVID test if you have any symptoms. We are a strong and interconnected community, and together we will emerge from this challenge stronger than ever. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep the spirit of our Native American culture thriving. Find more tips on continuing to be safe at health.state.mn.us. That's health.state.mn.us.
This message is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Department of Health.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low of 63. On Friday, more rain and storms with a high of 78. All this heavy rain can cause damage to your home or property, and you wouldn't even know it. If you need help but don't know where to start, contact Chuck at Native Concrete and Masonry. Visit nativeconcretemasonry.com to get started today.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native Concrete and Masonry, working together with clients to design, perform, create, and accomplish. Check out their work at nativeconcretemasonry.com.
What a great read there.
Oh, thank you. I lost my little notes here, so I hesitated.
Oh, you were on a roll there. So we're in the same studio right now because we were at the Four Sisters Market today, and Haley was afraid to drive all the way home, so she's at the St. Paul studio with me.
Yeah, lucky me.
Your sarcasm is beautifully dripping here.
I do get it from you.
Oh, well, that's
Somehow.
Good. Somehow, yeah. Well, we must have got it from someone else too because of our lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Robert and Haley, we were talking about Gen Z, and it really kind of resonated through when we were in commercial break. And I think Gen Z has gotten very used to one thing, changing the way things are done. And I think it's really, so what my observation is, I'm a people watcher, and I do it on I just love to do it. I love to delve deep and really get in there. So what I'm thinking is this system of voting, and particularly when you talk about our two presidential candidates, it seems to me that Gen Z is a little bit frustrated because it's an old way. When I really think about that, and I've been saying for some time now that I wouldn't be surprised if some changes come down the tube. I would welcome them, actually, because I haven't seen anything change in a bad way from Gen Z. It's all been good. It's all been welcoming. It's all been very fresh and new and exciting. So I'm hoping to see some of that stuff.
Well, I'd love to see to get rid of the electoral vote and go straight to the vote, because the orange one has never won an election. He just won the electoral vote in 2016, and Hillary beat him by 3 million votes. And so and then also the Supreme Court, how do you make all these laws and not get voted in? And there's only 9 of you, and more of you are megas. And I just want to introduce you again, Darek Delille, and Civic Engagement Manager of Native American Community Development Institute, and also the head honcho of Make Voting a Tradition. We're here just having a conversation, and I really appreciate you speaking to Haley's generation, because I believe the last election and the elections ahead now, they are saving us.
Yeah. Gen Z is, again, from my observation, they are getting involved. They want it. They want change to happen. And so this is really unfortunate that we're seeing these two candidates. We're hearing nothing but frustration about this. It's a tough goal right now. And that's what I'm sensing is our future generations are possibly going to want some change. And when they want change, usually they can make that happen. And I look to myself, leaders like Robert and other leaders in the community. We would, I think we would all welcome that, and push that forward. We would help to push a little good change forward.
Yeah, there's always changes and inevitable, and that's change in a good way. I just want to remind everyone too, in our native way, is that we really respect our elders. So when we talk about Biden in particular, he's an elder that that we would respect in our ways because he has a lot of knowledge and he hasn't gotten the credit, and we don't talk about the credit of all the good things he's done. And granted, there's a lot more to be done, but there's no way that's going to happen if we elect the other person, the orange guy. I don't like to say Trump, but he's an elder and he's revered in many nations, and I know my nation is that. So I don't have a problem personally with Biden's age or and the things that he's gotten done. So that's just kind of a different perspective I have, Derek.
Yeah, I could add to that and get a little real with it. We do respect our elders on a very, very deep level. But there's also the rare elder that doesn't act so right. And sometimes we are real in the fact. So on the flip side, when you talk about the orange one, um, a lot of times, and this is Gen Z again, they aren't going to put up with it. It's not it's even if you're an elder, if you're treating people in an unkind way and disrespectful,
Yes.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that
Well, and
isn't tolerated.
right, and there's a difference between being an elder and an old person in tribes too. So there is that too that we haven't really talked about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think being that elder, you're the holder of knowledge. You are the person that's looked to have that very, very high view. That way you can kind of look over and you can see maybe a little bit of the future. You can see around the landscape and move the pieces that are here, the younger ones. You can move them in a better direction and keep them a little bit more clear of danger. And that's what we're really talking about. This is a dangerous time. And a lot of our elders, when we're speaking about this upcoming election, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of people that are they're getting anxious. They oof, yeah. It's serious. It's serious. And this comes from the elders, us today, and also the future when we really fill them in with the facts. Hey, this is really what's going on. We have these two people. What do you think? When you give them some facts to go on, they don't like the idea either, which is very surprising to me.
Yeah.
The young ones, and I'm talking after Gen Z, the really young ones, they're pretty confused too. As far as what I've seen and the ones I've talked to, they that's it. These are the choices we have. I think we can do better. And
Yeah.
this is my opinion. I think we can do better than that.
Yeah, definitely. We got our cards given to us, and I think one of the things that's underlying theme when we talk about how old Joe Biden is there's a racial theme put in too because the vice president's BIPOC, and they don't want a BIPOC person as president if Joe Biden passes away. So there's that really underlying theme that we don't really talk a lot about, but there's a lot of racism out there when it comes to even talking about Joe Biden's age.
Yeah, there is. It's they call it ageism, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a thing. I think this is something we allude to, like Gen Z. They come up with these things and they coin the term, and that's it. This is what it is. And he has dealt with a lot of ageism. Unfortunately, I don't see too much of a problem. I know, much like you, Robert, we've been around quite a while. We've seen a lot of elders. And as far as my what I see from Joe Biden, he's doing just fine. He's doing just fine.
Well, let me put it this way too. Just a couple weeks ago, my sister-in-law and her husband saw the Rolling Stones, and Mick Jagger's 80 years old, and he ran across the stage, and I'm going, I'm 63, and I think he could beat me in a race easily.
My wife went to see that show, and she said the same thing. It was amazing.
Now, he hasn't been able to sing for 50 years, but he did run across the stage.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we got a couple minutes left here, and I'm really excited. How can our listeners, because we have a vast listeners out there, vast different demographics and progressive people, how can they support your work? And I really want to get into the nitty gritty of that. And
easy beans. I mean, you can check our website, nacdi.org. Give us a like and follow on social medias, Facebook and Instagram. These are really easy things, but there's something to it. We can put those numbers into our funding asks. This is a way to support us. So when I hear from Heather, I immediately go and check out her webpage. I immediately check out the socials. I go give some likes, because these things do count. Another thing, our Thursdays, each Thursday throughout the summer, you can come down to the farmers market, 1414 East Franklin Avenue. It's like I call it a little powwow each Thursday. And you'll see us out. You'll see good people doing good things, and that's what we're really talking about. We want that to continue for our future generations. And so all the work we do at NACTI, all the work you guys are doing, you're both doing a beautiful job at what you do. I love what you do, and when you get me, you're going to get support immediately. There's no question about it. So when you talked about a first-time voter, once you get the first-time voter, usually they're a lifelong voter. That was me. That was me. I lived that. And when you talk make voting a tradition, my wife saw to it that before I even knew about that program, she told the kids, you will have a job or you will go to school, and if you're living here, you must vote. Yes. So we take them out. We make sure everybody's together. We make it a thing. We make voting a tradition.
Well, Darek, I want to say just a big peeny gee, Darek Delille, for coming on and speaking your truth. We got to make this happen more often. Really, a great dose of some positivity and some things, Haley, that we always like to amplify here in Native Roots Radio.
Yes, thank you so much, Darek. Darek Delille again of NACTI.
Pleasure is all mine. I will come back whenever. You got my email. You come on down. Let's do it again.
Right on. Haley's writing that down, and she's going to remember that. You were a great guest as always, and a big peeny gigi for all you do in the community, and really a big peeny gigi of who you are, Darek. Really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you guys for who you are. We're going to see you soon.
We'll be right back. Native Roots Radio.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
As nature awakens this spring, let's awaken to the call of protection. Native brothers and sisters, let's bloom together by getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Let's nurture our heritage and safeguard our futures, one vaccination at a time. So be a vaccinative this spring by protecting yourself and others in our Native community. Whether you're due for an updated vaccine or just getting started, all COVID vaccines offer vital protection against severe illness. For our elders over 65, the latest vaccine is recommended by the CDC to maintain protection. So spring forward with strength, Native communities. Embrace the renewal of the season and safeguard our traditions by getting vaccinated against COVID-19. For more information, including details about clinics offering free vaccines, visit vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. This message is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Department of Health.
Bonjour, hello. My name is Wabin. I am an enrolled member of the White Earth Nation, descendant of the Navajo Nation, and co-chair of the Indigenous Employee Resource Group with the Minnesota Department of Transportation. MnDOT is hiring for a variety of positions from road maintenance to accounting and more. We offer great benefits. For more information or to set up a one-on-one resume and application assistance, visit mn.gov/careers, or you can text or call 612-257-2388. 612-257-2388.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Well, I think we could just drop the mic and end the show right now. What two great guests, right?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Heather and Derek are always really great.
Wow, we're truly blessed here. And I guess, I don't know if you have something to talk about, but I just was thinking between this break, how lucky we are here at Native Roots Radio. Wendy and I started this show. We've had our family involved. We've had great producers over the years. And Haley, you're a great producer now, keeping up the tradition, with Ogama and Zoe, and just keeping things straight. And how blessed we are to amplify these people's voices across Turtle Island on real issues with natives and good people that are trying. And, being native is all about community.
Yeah. And these voices and these guests that we've had on over, what are we in our 8th season now? I mean, really just amplifying the work that they're doing, but also, not just for Native communities. Like we talk about, how we're, a minority group that's, sometimes never served, at all if underserved. But, you say this a lot on the show, human issues or native issues are human issues, and human issues are native issues. And I think really what we're trying to get at and bring back some of the ways in how our ancestors lived. I think, this is really going to help not only us in our native communities, but everybody.
Well, and that goes to the old saying, when we do better, we do better, or what did Paul Wellstone say? When
we all do good, or what is it? I don't know now.
We all do gooder, we do
we
gooder.
all do gooder.
Yeah, exactly. But, and that's so true. And, I years ago when Hillary Clinton was the president's wife, before she and of course she was more than that, but she became a senator and a presidential candidate, and in her own right. It takes a village, and that was her saying. And at first it was like, oh geez, but that's how we are as natives. It's about community, and we talk about the ending of reservation dogs. We got a chance to see Sterling Harjo and talk about that show, and it was all about community. The kids wanted to move to California, but they found out, like Dorothy did, there's no place like home, and being part of your community. And really, that's what we try to do here over the airwaves and podcasts and whatever, however you're listening to us.
Yeah. And just speaking of community, I want to mention too, it was so great to see everyone at the Four Sisters Farmers Market. I mean, just anytime you're in Minneapolis on a Thursday and you're, wanting to get a taste of the Native culture and the urban Native community here in Minneapolis. I mean, every day is a great day to head down to the American Indian Cultural Corridor, but Thursdays during the summer months, like Derek said, the Four Sisters Farmers Market is just kind of a little powwow, and it's really where everyone of, you know, the creeks and the corners come out, and we see everyone again. And
Right. Well, I'm glad he didn't say round dance because you know my hip.
oh yeah, you
know,
can't do that.
I can, but I pay for it.
Yeah. Well, today happens to be the start of the summer solstice, which
Yeah.
is a big mark for us in Native communities.
Yeah, definitely. And the longest day of the year. And I appreciate it. It's like I wake up now and it's bright out and I go, what time is it?
Yeah, right. I know.
It's
Thankful.
6:30. What?
Yeah, just thankful for the sun and all that the sun gives us, and to grow our food and everything, really. I didn't know that summer solstice. I always thought it started on the 21st, but apparently Google says that it can fall between the 20th and the 22nd, just depending on the year.
And I just want to remind you too that Google is evil. Just to throw that out there.
Okay. All right. Who doesn't use that though?
Right. Yeah. Well, my phone's listening to me and Google's responding. So I just want to wheel back. State Representative Heather Keeler, we are truly blessed to have a powerhouse like that on. Also, State Senator Mary Kunesh on Fridays. We are
Yeah.
totally blessed. We have had her on when she was a representative. So, and now she's a state senator and leading the way. And people out there thinking you need to run. You need to leave a legacy. You're not going to take all this stuff that you've collected and had over the years with you when you pass on. And I saw a bumper sticker that said, everyone dies.
Yeah. Yes, I
And
do.
yeah, and I mean that's morbid, but it's true. And it's like, how much time do you have? I'm 63. I got 10 good years, and then what's going to happen is up creator. But we have to make hay and support our family, our community, and our nation, whether it's United States nation or for me, it's Ho Chunk Nation.
Yeah. Good points. Really good points. Full moon tonight and
Oh,
tomorrow.
wait, that's Howling for Wolves.
Yeah, American Indian Family Center in St. Paul is hosting a full moon ceremony tonight, Thursday the 20th at 6:30 p.m. at the Bellwyn Conservancy Savannah Center in Afton, Minnesota. That's kind of the East Metro area.
Wow.
Yeah, and then NAC, Native American Community Clinic, will be hosting their full moon ceremony tomorrow, June 21st at 9 p.m., and that will be at the Little Earth Gym in Minneapolis.
Can they see the moon from the gym?
That's a good question.
No, I'm just kidding. I suppose I could step out.
Yeah. They have the fire going out there, so I'm sure.
Right. Well, it's going to be hard to see the full moon because we have nothing but rain going on here. We had 3 years of the drought here in Minnesota, and now we have flooding. I don't know if you saw those videos from up in Duluth, but that was insane with all the water pouring through the housing area. I mean, down sidewalks and everything was crazy.
Sure. I actually was just out in Afton the other day. I don't think I said this on the radio, but I found a very beautiful sign from the Creator, and it was an eagle feather. A Chashet Mashu. That was actually the first feather that I was able to find in nature on my own.
So I quickly told you that, it's a good thing that you're working for Native Roots Radio. That's just the eagle feathers telling you that, and that you should probably take less pay because of that. And
oh yeah, all these little signs, hidden messages.
No, but it's a good thing. I found a white one on River Boulevard, and of course I gifted it to a former student when she graduated. But it was a
Nice of you.
beautiful feather.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yeah, going back to my story though, I just wanted to say the river, the St. Croix River, is the highest I have ever seen it right now.
Wow.
I mean, half like where we usually hike, and there's little islands that we go out to from the state park, or if you're familiar with that area, but everything's flooded. There are no islands to walk out to.
Right. And I always there's an indicator by the dam over by my house on the Mississippi. There's an island that you can drive up to, and it's right by the Lock and Dam, and you can pull your boat up there or whatever and swim right there.
Mhm.
And the island's way underwater.
Yeah.
Way underwater. And I like to say that the river is angry, and it's crazy that it's so high and moving so fast. It's scary, and we won't be putting our boat out there until the water stops.
Yeah. So everyone just be safe with the weekend and the nice weather, and especially the 4th of July weekend coming up.
Yeah. Hey, this has been Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. If you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops. The ground on which we stand on is sacred ground. It is the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office. We're still here. We are the 7th generation.
And free Leonard Peltier now.
There's a place at the end of the Nicollet Mall at West Grant Street with a huge